Welcome to the webinar, How to Optimize Your Marketing Campaigns to Achieve Real Results. I'm Leonie May, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Squiz, and you'll be joining me over the next 30 to 45 minutes. In today's session, we're going to show you how you can optimize your online campaigns. We'll show you how you can determine what content performs best by running experiments using A/B testing. You'll easily track what's working and iterate to improve. All of this means you can make data-driven decisions rather than relying on guesswork. You'll also see how to personalize content and ensure the right information goes to the right audience, increasing conversions and results. All of this being achieved in the Squiz DXP. Now, joining me today is Mary Claire Russell, Head of Customer and Field Marketing, showing a demonstration of how you can optimize your content and campaigns. We'll have Samantha Gilbert, Senior Product Manager, and Tyson Adams, Engineering Manager, joining us at the end of the session to answer any questions you may have. First, for some housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded and you will receive a copy via email within the next day or two. If you have any technical difficulties during the session, please use the Q&A window you can see at the icon at the bottom of your screen there. And please submit any questions into the Q&A window. Feel free to submit questions at any time. Samantha and Tyson will be answering them at the end of the session. So what we've heard from the market is that optimizing a marketing campaign is slow and hard to achieve. Now, marketing teams crave data to know what's working or not. They want to be able to make confident decisions. And the ability to test, learn, optimize quickly and iteratively is imperative to success. They need insights that drive more predictable results. But there are blockers. To set up experiments, particularly when you rely on developers, is complex, time-consuming, and costly. Marketing teams are relying too heavily on their IT and dev teams to be able to test what's working and to get those meaningful insights from their data. It's expensive and hard to manage many niche solutions. So adding new tools to do a specific job, like personalizing or optimizing content, it gets costly and can lead to bloated tech stacks. These niche tools also need to be managed, monitored, and able to talk to other tools in your stack. And this adds complexity. So we're hearing that lean teams in complex organizations don't know where to start. And today we're going to show you how you can build, optimize, and personalize your marketing campaigns fast with Squiz DXP. Our new modern page builder in the DXP brings it all together. Achieve and exceed your campaign goals through a suite of Squiz tools, including A/B testing for things like campaign pages, easy form creation, and content personalization. All of this is done from one place, the Squiz DXP. In the DXP, you can test landing page content. Use inbuilt A/B testing to understand what content variations on a landing page have better conversion rates. Tests can be run for the entire web pages to individual components on a page. You can build forms in seconds. Easily build and embed a form on a registration landing page for customers to sign up using Squiz Advanced Forms. Connect the form to your database, CRM, or other solutions for automatic data collection. And you can also personalize communications. So provide content that's relevant to your user journeys with personalized follow-up communications. You can segment audiences into groups and provide a follow-up web page that is right for their needs. And these are just some of the examples. So how can you achieve your business goals? The Squiz DXP is built for agility and control. Now, the Squiz DXP is truly composable, which means you get everything you need ready to go. This includes the core capabilities you need to build your brilliant experiences fast. You have the flexibility to go best of need from any vendor. So new tools and technologies appear all the time, and you need this flexibility to adapt. We don't lock you in. You can swap third-party tools in and out, and it will play nicely with everything without messy developer-reliant integrations. And do you have a non-Squiz CMS that you're currently using? Because that doesn't matter, as you can swap it in and it will still work seamlessly. If you choose to swap it out, it won't break any experience. And it feels and works like one solution. So what do I mean by this? The platform provides access controls, security, monitoring, and governance across all of your experiences and tech. I'm now going to pass to Marie-Claire to show you the Squiz DXP in action.
Thanks, Leonie. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary-Claire Russell, Global Head of Customer Marketing and Field Marketing ANZ here at Squiz. And what I'm going to do today is show you a demo of how you can use Squiz DXP to solve a challenge that is common to a lot of marketing teams across a wide range of industries and organisations. It's optimisation. We've all been there and know it's a continuous challenge. In our scenario today, we'll show you how you can optimise your content and campaigns to increase conversion using a webinar campaign as an example. Here at Squiz, you may know we run a wide range of webinars to keep you abreast of the latest updates in the Squiz DXP and how you can apply them to your organisation. We build a campaign around it to encourage you to attend, and a post-webinar we send you a recording and other relevant content to support you. Today, we're going to show you how it all comes alive using Squiz DXP to get the most from your campaign activity. We'll show you how you can optimize a campaign around these webinars to increase the number of attendees and the number of people who ultimately book a demo or another type of conversion to learn more. We will do this by using Squiz DXP to test what content performs best, personalize content for different audiences, and ultimately optimize for a better conversion. To paint a clear picture of what the scenario is, Squiz is hosting a webinar for a new feature release. The task is to optimize the webinar campaign from registration to follow-up, and the goal is ultimately to drive demo bookings. And you're on my team, the Squiz marketing team. Now let's start with the end user journey. The end user is scrolling on LinkedIn, and they see a post promoting the upcoming webinar. So they click on the link to learn more. They land on the registration page, which contains this registration form. Now, as a marketing team, we believe we can increase webinar registrations by reducing the number of form fields. We believe this will help to minimize friction and result in more registrations. We want to run an A/B test to see if this theory is true. To set up an A/B test, we need to go to the page builder of our registration page in Squiz Content Management. You can see here that we've embedded the form into our page of a code. We want to test a different version of the form with a smaller number of form fields, so we need to set up an A/B test for this section. We have the option to choose from our previous experience, but because it's our first time testing the number of form fields, I'll take you through how to create a new one. You can see now that we're in Squiz optimization capability. Let's specify the configurations of our tests. We'll name this test number of form fields. We're testing the difference between 3 versus 5 form fields, and our domain is squiz.net. We're going to send the 50% of our audience to each of our variants, and we're going to measure the success of our test with page views by seeing how many people saw the thank you page that appears after the registration. We'll start the experiment 3 weeks before our webinar date, and we'll end the experiment on the day of our webinar. Now, let's save our configurations. We can see that there are still some things left to configure. What we need to do is connect the experiment up to our webinar registration page. So let's go back to the CMS. The number of form field test is now available, so let's connect it. You can see now that the A/B tests have been applied. So let's switch over to variant B and add the code for the form with less fields. Earlier, we built the form in 5 minutes using Squiz Advanced Forms, which automatically generated a JavaScript code that we could simply copy and paste here. Finally, I want to specify the names for each of my variants. So let's go back to configuration page. You can also see here that the experiment is now connected to our registration page. Now we can see that the experiment is scheduled to start on the 21st of September. The results will also appear at the top here once the experiment is finished. Now let's see what variants A and B look like side by side. You can see on the left that we have version A with 5 form fields, and on the right we have version B with 3 form fields. Once the experiment is finished, we can review the results. In this case, version B with less form fields showed a 19% improvement over version A in webinar registrations. It's data points like this that we can use to make data-driven decisions in our next webinar campaign. We now know with less form fields, we can drive more conversions. Okay, let's continue the user journey. The user now sees the winning variant, which is version B with less form fields. They fill in the form and register for the webinar. Moments after they register, they receive an automated confirmation email with webinar details. This was triggered through an integration that syncs the form submission data into our CRM. It's a pre-built low-code connector to HubSpot that was really quick and easy to set up. On the day of the webinar, our registered users may or may not actually attend the webinar. Whether or not they attended, our goal as a marketing team is to keep them engaged and drive conversion, which in our case is to book a demo. What we want to do now is to follow up with all registrants. The follow-up content needs to be personalized based on the two segments, attended versus did not attend. Let's have a look at how we can do this. Within the Squiz customer data platform, we can create user segments based on their attendance behavior. You can see here that we have our two segments, attendee versus non-attendee. This data has come through Squiz integrations, which syncs webinar attendance information seamlessly from our CRM to the customer data platform. We need to personalize the content on our follow-up page so that we deliver the most relevant information to users in each segment. This is where the page lives in the back end of Squiz content management, and currently it contains generic, non-personalized content. To start with, we want the content in the hero banner above the fold to change based on the segment. And as we're at the front end experience, you'll see that it includes a heading, welcome message, CTA, as well as the webinar recording. Going back to our page builder in the back end, we set up a personalization in our hero banner. Listed here are two segments we saw in the customer data platform earlier. I'll go ahead and select advanced forms webinar attendee and non-attendee as the segments we want to personalize for. Just to note that you can add as many segments as you need, and if one user is part of more than one segment, the content will be prioritized in order of the list. We can see that this section has personalization applied. So let's switch over to the attendee segment and add content specific to them. I'm adding the same hero banner component, just with different content. We'll add a thank you message, but keep the same YouTube video of the webinar recording and the same CTA. Now, let's personalize the content for non-attendees. For this segment, we've tailored the welcome message to say, we're sorry we missed them, but we've also included a quick video demo in case they're too busy to watch the whole webinar. We've kept the same YouTube video of the webinar recording, but also added a secondary CTA for them to watch, a shorter 5-minute version. Now that we've finished personalizing this hero banner component, I'll fast forward and personalize all the other relevant content on this page. Okay, you can see we've personalized all the relevant blocks. In this section where we summarize the content of the webinar, we've personalized it for attendees so that it's blank, as this information is less relevant to them. In the accordion section where we've included the webinar Q&A, we haven't personalized the content as it's relevant to all segments. So let's see how the page looks for each segment. We have displayed the pages for the two segments side by side, attendees on the left and non-attendees on the right. You'll see that the non-attendees are also served with a secondary CTA, which gives them the option to watch a 5-minute demo. This acts as a quick teaser to encourage users to learn more, since they might not be as engaged to watch a full video. Non-attendees are also shown a punchy summary of what was covered in the webinar. Because this segment is less likely to be engaged, giving them these quick bites of information might pique their interest to discover more and move them to take action. So, how do we measure the performance of the personalized content? We've jumped back into the customer data platform here. Because all of our customer data is centralized here, it gives us one convenient place to review all our results. Here we've selected the segment that we want to see the results for, which in this case is the attendees segment. The results here show that 22 bookings were submitted on the follow-up landing page. If we look at the non-attendees, we can see from the graph that 8 demos were booked on the non-attendee landing page. If we combine that with the 22 demos booked by our attendees, that's a total of 30 booked, which is a 23% conversion from our total registrants. If we compared this to our previous webinar follow-up page that wasn't personalized, it only converted 14% of the total registrants, which means we drove a 9% increase in overall conversion by personalizing our content. With this data, our team now has evidence that personalization can increase post-webinar conversions. And that's just one example of how you can optimize your content and campaigns to increase conversion. By running these experiments and gathering more data points, it makes it easier for marketers to test and learn and make data-driven decisions for the future campaigns. That's all. Thanks, everyone.
And thanks very much to MC for that demonstration. So you can see just some of the basics of what you can do with our new modern page builder. If you do have any questions, now's the time to pop them in the Q&A icon that you see on your screen there. However, if you do have any questions that pop up later in the day, I will put the email address up at the end of the session. The email address is ask@squiz.net and we'll get back to you. So I'll just start. I've got Sam and Tyson joining me now, and I'll just start going through the list of questions. You guys tell me who's best to answer what. The first one being, can A/B testing be implemented on a specific personalized sections of a page?
Okay, I'll take that one, Leonie. Excuse me. Yes, an A/B testing can be applied to a personalized block of content. However, you can't put personalized content inside an A/B test. So you can have personalized content and then do A/B testing within that, but you can't have an A/B test and then personalized content within the A/B test.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. If you do want more information about how it works, honestly, send us an email after the session. So next question, when can I get started using the new page builder with A/B testing and personalization? How can we get access? Is that a Tyson question?
Yeah, I can grab that one. So if you're already on the latest subscription model, you can get access to these new features and functionalities. So all you need to do is talk to your account manager and we can get that activated for your account. Once that's been activated for you, you can access the new page builder with A/B testing and personalization by using the content page asset type in your matrix instance.
Fantastic. Next question, do I need the component service to use the page builder?
I can take that one as well. Yeah, modern page builder is leveraging the component service. So that gives you a lot of power of what you can do there. It also helps you enforce your design system styling and branding for your site.
Fantastic. I'll just keep going here. Efficient. What is a sufficient sample size to draw a meaningful conclusion for an A/B test? Is there like a best practice? Great, thanks, Sam.
Yeah, so basically to draw meaningful conclusions for an A/B tests, the sample size required will depend on your uplift in success that you're seeking. So we've added a calculator to the product that utilizes the desired uplift in success, the current success rate, and the daily visitor numbers to determine the sample size that's big enough to ensure a valid test. But basically, if you want a larger improvement, then you'll need a larger sample size in order to ensure a statistically reliable result.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Sam. What's next on the roadmap for modern page builder? So I guess, yeah, looking at what we can do.
It'll be me as Yep, that'll be me as well as the product manager. So there's a bit on the roadmap for modern page builder. So at the moment, we're looking at introducing the ability to preview in order to compare your test, A/B test variants and your personalization variant views. So the ability, excuse me, the ability to have a look at as you're building it, your two variants side by side, like Marie Claire was showing, and same with your personalization variants to see what they look like as you're building them and adjust. We're also introducing simplified support for page history viewing, so being able to see over time how the page has been edited and changed. We're doing more out-of-the-box component block options. So as Tyson said, you need to have components to create page builder and then use A/B testing and personalization. And so what we're doing is including some pre-packaged components with the product so that you can get started immediately without having to create components if you don't want to. However, if you've got your own design system and you want your own form of components, then you can create your own set. So we're continuing to increase the number of types of components that are just there and available when you get Modern Page Builder. Excuse me. We're also looking at putting more advanced analysis reporting into the A/B test results. So at the moment, the reporting is a first past the post kind of reporting. So we basically just say this variant got more success measure outcomes than the other variant. What we'd like to do is introduce a bit more nuance into that statistical reporting so that we can say whether that's a statistically significant difference between the two, because sometimes the difference might be not significant enough that it doesn't really matter whether you use one or the other. So it's more interesting for people to understand, well, how much better did it perform rather than just it was better. The other thing is we are looking at introducing different ways to distribute your traffic. So at the moment, when you set up an A/B test, you get to choose what percentage of your traffic you send to one variant as opposed to the other. But we want to start bringing in some more sophisticated methods for distributing traffic, including being able to use segments. So if you've got segments set up, you can decide that you're going to split your users based on maybe whether they're international students or domestic students. You'll send them to variant A or variant B based on that, rather than just 50% of my website traffic to variant A and 50% to variant B, or 10% to variant A and 90% to variant B. We're also introducing multi-factor segmentation support. So that's where you start using multiple factors to decide whether someone's in your segment. So for example, you could say if someone's in the over 50s demographic and they have come to this page 3 times, then maybe we put them in the personalized attention required segment. And the last one that we're working on is search-based segmentation. So that's where we're going to allow you to set up rules that say if a person has come to your site and done a certain series of searches, that indicates they're a certain type of visitor, and automatically put them in a segment. So if a person comes to your site and does a series of searches that clearly indicates that they're an international student, then you automatically put them in the international student segment. And from that point forward, the material that the content that they're given or the journeys that they're guided to go through are all international student weighted. So that's what's on the roadmap for Modern Page Builder.
Amazing. Yeah, there's a lot going on and the automation sounds really cool. So stay tuned for more, and obviously we'll be putting that out on the roadmap page that we have on the website as well. I'm just going to flick over just to pop up again that if you do have any questions after this session, you might be thinking later on in the day, I wish that I knew more about how this works. Please send them to ask@squiz.net and we will get back to you ASAP if you do have any questions or you would like more information. So thank you all for taking the time to join the session today. We hope you got a lot out of it. If you do have questions, send them through and we'll see you again next time. Thanks all.